Welcome to Udable.com.
Have you ever found yourself setting big, exciting goals, maybe getting in shape, mastering a new skill, or finally tackling that project only to feel like you're constantly hitting a wall, struggling to actually stick with it?
Yeah, that feeling is pretty common, I think.
Or perhaps you're just endlessly curious about how those tiny, everyday actions can actually snowball into massive, life-altering changes. Well, you've landed in the perfect spot. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the surprisingly powerful world of building better habits, drawing incredible insights from, well, the foundational work of atomic habits.
That's right. Our mission today is really to pull back the curtain on how those seemingly insignificant daily choices, like the smallest building blocks in atom, how they can compound into incredible lasting results.
Okay.
We're going to uncover why these small things make such a difference, explore the fascinating way our brains actually wire habits, and most importantly, give you practical ways to make good habits stick, and those unwanted ones simply fade away.
Exactly. So what can you expect from this deep dive? First up, we'll break down the simple 4-step process of how habits actually form in your brain.
The basic loop.
Right, the loop. Then we're going to unlock 4 practical laws that you can immediately apply to build habits that truly transform your life. Not just for a fleeting moment, but like for good.
Yeah, making it last.
Let's unpack this
Okay.
to really grasp the power here. Let's start with the very idea of atomic. The source defines it as an extremely small amount of a thing, the single irreducible unit of a larger system.
Tiny.
Fundamental. Exactly. So when we talk about atomic habits, we're literally talking about the tiny fundamental behaviors that, when you combine them, create something huge. And it's truly remarkable how powerful these small changes can be.
It really is.
Imagine this. If you can manage to get just 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done.
37 times. It sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? But what's truly profound about that 1% idea is how it completely reframes our obsession with those drastic overnight transformations.
Totally.
It's almost counterintuitive in our hustle culture, where we're constantly pushed towards instant results, you know?
Absolutely. And the book uses a fantastic example to illustrate this. The British cycling team, for nearly a century they were, well, let's just say consistently average, maybe even less than average sometimes.
Right, not exactly setting the world on fire.
Not at all. Then a man named Dave Brailsford was brought in, and he introduced this strategy he called the aggregation of marginal gains.
Marginal gains, I like that.
Yeah. His radical idea was to meticulously break down every single component of cycling and then improve each tiny piece by just 1%.
And he meant everything, didn't he? It wasn't just about the obvious stuff like the bikes or the training.
No, not at all. They optimized tire pressure, they experimented with different massage gels, they even researched the best type of pillow for a rider's sleep.
Pillows. See? It was this relentless pursuit of tiny improvements across the board, things you wouldn't even think of.
Exactly. And this seemingly insignificant 1% better mindset transformed them. They went from a team nobody really took seriously into Olympic and Tour de France champions.
It's an incredible story.
Yeah.
And it really highlights for us, for you listening, that your outcomes are a lagging measure of your habits.
Say that again. A lagging measure.
Yeah, your current weight isn't just about what you ate today. It's a reflection of your eating habits over weeks, months, or even years.
Right.
Your knowledge isn't from one late-night study session. It's the result of your consistent learning habits. You literally get what you repeat.
So if you want to predict where you'll end up, you need to look at the daily choices you're compounding, whether they're tiny gains or tiny losses.
Precisely. And here's where it gets really interesting for many of us, especially when we feel like we're putting in the effort but not seeing immediate results.
Oh yeah, the frustration point.
Exactly. The source calls this the plateau of latent potential. And it offers this brilliant analogy, the ice cube.
I found this particularly eye-opening, honestly, because it explains why I've often felt frustrated when I'm working hard but see no visible progress. It feels like nothing's happening.
Right. So imagine an ice cube in a room. The temperature is, say, 25 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
It slowly creeps up. 26, 27, 28 degrees. What's happening to the ice cube?
Nothing. Still solid ice.
Exactly. 29, 30, 31 degrees. Still ice. But then, bam, it hits 32 degrees.
And suddenly it melts.
It melts. All that gradual heating, all that effort wasn't wasted. It was being stored The potential was building up, and all the noticeable action, the transformation, happened right at that crucial 32-degree point.
That's such a powerful way to think about it. Your work isn't wasted, it's just being stored.
It's a fantastic reminder that what looks like overnight success from the outside is almost always the result of much unseen, stored effort beneath the surface. Consistency is just paramount.
So you just have to keep putting in the work, even when you don't see the change yet.
Exactly. You keep at it, and eventually you will hit that melting point where your efforts finally become visible and break through. In a world built for instant gratification, the true insight here is that patience isn't just a virtue. It's actually a strategic advantage for building habits.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So with that understanding, let's peel back the layers and understand the basic science. How do habits actually work in our brains?
Right, the mechanism.
The source breaks down the process of building any habit into 4 simple, interconnected steps. It's described as an endless feedback loop that your brain is constantly running.
A loop, yeah. These steps are the cue, the craving, the response, and the reward.
Cue, craving, response, reward. Got it.
Let's walk through them quickly. First, the cue. This is the trigger, basically a piece of information that hints at a potential reward.
Like seeing a cookie on the counter, or maybe hearing your phone buzz.
Exactly. Or even just a specific time of day, like 5 p.m. signaling the end of the workday. Your brain is essentially a prediction machine, constantly scanning your environment for these cues that predict something good might happen.
Okay, so the cue triggers something. What's next?
Next comes the craving. This is the motivational engine, the desire for the reward the cue hinted at. It's not always about wanting the thing itself, like the cookie.
Right, it might be wanting the feeling it gives you.
Precisely. The satisfaction, the sugar rush, the comfort. With your phone notification, the craving might be to check what's new, or maybe just escape boredom for a moment. It's the underlying feeling or state change that drives the habit.
That makes sense. So cue leads to craving, then.
Then follows the response. This is the actual habit itself, the action you take. So eating the cookie or picking up your phone and scrolling.
The thing you actually do.
Right. And whether you actually perform the response often depends on how motivated you are by the craving and, crucially, how much effort or friction is involved. If it seems like too much work, your brain might just skip it.
The path of least resistance. We'll come back to that, I bet.
Definitely. And finally, number 4 is the reward. This is the satisfying feeling you get after the response. It does 2 critical things. 1, it satisfies the craving that kicked off the whole loop. 2, it teaches your brain which actions are worth remembering and repeating in the future.
So the taste of the cookie is immediately satisfying. And the relief from boredom after checking your phone reinforces that behavior, making you more likely to do it again next time you feel bored or hear a ping.
Exactly. That reward wires it in. What's really intriguing here, though, is that a huge number of our habits are non-conscious. We don't always need to be aware of the cue for a habit to just automatically start its loop.
Like muscle memory, almost.
Sort of. The source gives examples, like a former lifeguard who might unconsciously yell, "walk," at running children years later. Or someone might automatically cover their mouth when they laugh without thinking.
Never thought about that.
As the psychologist Carl Jung famously put it, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate.
Wow.
And this is precisely why understanding this loop cue, craving, response, reward is so powerful. It gives us the tools to bring those automatic unconscious actions into the light so we can then consciously choose whether to change them.
Okay, so we've got a handle on how habits work. Now, the big question, how do we actually make them work for us? Make good ones and break bad ones.
Right. And the source really emphasizes a fundamental shift in thinking here. Maybe stop focusing so much on just setting goals.
Really, but goals are everywhere. Smart goals, big goals.
They are, and they have their place. But focusing solely on a goal can be, well, problematic. It's often a momentary change.
What do you mean by momentary?
Think about it. If you clean a messy room, the goal is achieved, it's clean now. But if your underlying habits, the systems that led to the mess, haven't changed, it'll just be messy again next week.
Hey, good point. You're treating the symptom, not the cause.
Exactly. Plus, goals can sometimes restrict happiness. We often tell ourselves, I'll be happy once I achieve X, which kind of pushes joy off into the future until some milestone is reached.
That truly resonates. I've definitely fallen into that trap. So, if I'm understanding this right, it's not just about aiming for an outcome like lose 20 pounds or write a book.
No, the core, deeper idea is identity change. It's about becoming the type of person who is fit or who is a writer.
Becoming that person.
Yes. And every single action you take, no matter how small, is like casting a vote for the type of person you wish to become. If you want to be a runner, showing up for a jog, even a really short one, is a powerful vote for that identity.
I like that idea of casting a vote. It makes small actions feel significant.
Precisely. It's about building systems, daily habits that support the identity you want to embody. The more pride you have in a particular aspect of your identity, say being a healthy eater or a lifelong learner, the more motivated you'll be to consistently maintain the habits that go along with it.
So true behavior change is really identity change.
In its most effective form, yes. It's about who you are, not just what you want.
Okay, with that powerful shift in mind, let's dive into the 4 practical laws of behavior change. These really give us a blueprint, right?
They do. A very actionable framework.
The first law is make it obvious. This seems to tie back directly to the cue part of the habit loop.
Exactly. It's all about making the cues for your good habits clear, visible, and, well, obvious. And to start, you need honest awareness.
How do you get that?
The source suggests a really simple tool called a habit scorecard. You just literally write down what you do each day, maybe for a few days. No judgment, just observation.
Okay, just list it all out.
Yeah. This makes your current habits, both the helpful and maybe the unhelpful ones, visible. Once you know what you're doing, you can use what are called implementation intentions.
Implementation intentions sounds formal.
It just means clearly stating your plan. I will behavior at time and location. It forces specificity.
Give me an example.
Instead of vaguely saying, I'll meditate more, you'd say, I will meditate for 1 minute at 7 a.m. in my kitchen. See the difference?
Yeah, much clearer. Takes away the guesswork of when and where.
Exactly. Another really clever technique is habit stacking.
Habit stacking, like building blocks.
Kind of. You link a new habit you want to build directly onto an existing habit you already do automatically without thinking.
Oh, I see. Use the old habit as a trigger for the new one.
Precisely. The simple formula is, after current habit, I will new habit. So maybe, after I pour my morning coffee, I will say one thing I'm grateful for. Or, after I take off my work shoes, I will change into my workout clothes.
You're leveraging that existing strong trigger. That's smart.
It's very effective. And this leads us naturally to environment design. You want to actively design your surroundings to make the cues for good habits impossible to ignore.
Make them pop out at you.
Right. If you want to practice guitar more, don't hide it in a closet. Leave it out on a stand in the middle of the living room.
So you trip over it, basically.
Almost. Put your medication bottle right next to the bathroom faucet so you see it when you brush your teeth. Make the cues unavoidable.
And conversely, I guess, make the cues for bad habits invisible.
Exactly. If watching too much TV is an issue, maybe move the TV out of the bedroom. Log out of social media apps on your phone instead of staying logged in 247. Increase the friction for the bad stuff.
The environment really is a powerful silent cue, isn't it?
Hugely powerful. The book makes a great point. The context is the cue. Our habits often get deeply linked to the specific places we perform them.
Like always snacking in front of the TV.
Perfect example. If you always watch TV or scroll on your phone in your bedroom, it's hard for your brain to associate that room only with sleep. That's why the idea of one space, one use can be incredibly helpful.
So try to have separate areas for specific activities. Work in the office, relax on the couch, sleep in the bed.
If possible, yes. The author mentions how he structured his office. Certain tasks only happened at certain desks. It helps create strong contextual cues for focus or relaxation. If your office is only for work, it's much easier to get into work mode there.
Okay, law 1, make it obvious. Got it. Now the second law is make it attractive. This must tap into the craving part of the loop.
You got it. This law is all about leveraging our brain's natural desire for rewards and making the habit seem appealing.
And how does that work neurologically?
Well, it's quite striking. Our motivation to act, which is often linked to the release of dopamine in the brain, actually peaks most strongly in the anticipation of a reward, not just during the pleasure itself.
So the wanting is often stronger than the having.
In many cases, yes. Think about a child getting super excited before Christmas morning. The anticipation, the thought of opening gifts, can generate more dopamine, more excitement than the actual unwrapping sometimes. The greater the anticipation, the stronger the drive to act.
Okay, so how do we use that? How do we make, say, flossing attractive?
Good question. One great strategy is temptation bundling. This brilliant idea means pairing something you need to do, like flossing or maybe making sales calls, with something you genuinely want to do.
Linking the chore with a treat.
Exactly. The source gives this fantastic example of Ronan Byrne, an engineering student in Ireland. He loved watching Netflix, but knew he desperately needed to exercise more.
A common dilemma?
Right. So he ingeniously wired his stationary bike to his laptop. Netflix would only play if he was cycling at a certain minimum speed.
No way, seriously.
Seriously. If he slowed down too much, Netflix paused. He directly bundled the need exercise with the want watching Netflix.
That's genius. So you could apply this with a formula.
Yeah, the formula is basically, after habit I need, I will habit I want. So maybe after I finish this work report, need, I will check my favorite sports scores, want. Or only when I'm at the gym, need, I will listen to my favorite podcast, want.
Bundling the temptation. I like it.
Yeah.
What else makes habits attractive?
Another incredibly powerful force is social norms. We are, at our core, social creatures, herd animals. We have this deep-seated desire to fit in, to bond, and to earn the approval of our peers.
You want to belong.
Absolutely. And the book points out that we tend to imitate the habits of three key groups. The close, our family and friends, the many, the culture or majority around us, and the powerful, those we admire or look up to.
So if everyone in your office dresses casually, you're more likely to do the same.
Exactly. Or if your close friends are all focused on fitness, you're more likely to find fitness attractive too. Behaviors become inherently more attractive when they help us fit in or gain respect within our chosen tribes or groups. Viewing a group where your desired behavior is the norm is a powerful way to make it attractive.
Okay, makes sense. Obvious. Attractive. What's law 3?
Law 3 is make it easy. This one is all about reducing the effort, the friction required to actually do the habit, hitting the response part of the loop.
Tackling that path of least resistance we mentioned.
Exactly. This law is based on a fundamental principle of human behavior, often called the law of least effort. Basically, we will naturally gravitate toward the option that requires the least amount of work.
We're inherently lazy.
Maybe efficiently lazy. If a habit demands a lot of energy or effort right up front, we're just far less likely to do it consistently. So the core idea here is to drastically reduce the friction associated with good habits.
Make it smoother to perform.
Yes. Think about the gym example again. If your gym is literally on your commute home from work, the friction is low. You're far more likely to stop in than if it's a 20-minute detour across town.
Right. Convenience matters.
Hugely. Many Japanese manufacturers, for instance, revolutionized their efficiency post-WWII by meticulously studying and reducing every tiny bit of wasted motion on their assembly lines. They made the entire process easier, smoother, less effortful.
So how can we apply that personally?
A simple but powerful way is to prime your environment for future actions. This means preparing things in advance to make the habit easier when the time comes.
Like setting things up beforehand.
Exactly. The source mentions Oswald Knuckles, a consultant who, after any activity, meticulously resets the room, puts the remote back where it belongs, fluffs the pillows, tidies up. He says, "People think I work hard, but I'm actually really lazy. I'm just proactively lazy."
Proactively lazy. I love that. So laying out your workout clothes the night before.
Perfect example. Or chopping up vegetables for healthy meals over the weekend so cooking during the week is faster. You're reducing the friction for the future action, making it almost effortless when the moment arrives.
Okay, priming the environment. What else makes it easy?
There's the incredibly effective 2-minute rule. This is gold. When you're starting any new habit, the rule is, it should take less than 2 minutes to do.
Less than 2 minutes. That seems too small.
That's the point. You scale it down. So instead of read before bed each night, your goal becomes read 1 page. Instead of do 30 minutes of yoga, it becomes take out my yoga mat.
Just the very first step.
Exactly. This isn't just a trick to make it feel easier. It's about mastering the art of showing up, making it incredibly easy to start. Often, the rest will naturally follow once you've cleared that initial hurdle of just beginning.
Make it easy to start, and the rest will follow.
That's the idea. The book shares a story of a reader who lost over 100 pounds by starting with a strict commitment to just exercising for 5 minutes, using the 2-minute rule to just get changed to get started, and then gradually building up from that incredibly simple start.
Wow, that's powerful. And speaking of making things easy, the source also talks about decisive moments, right? These little choices that shape the day.
Yes, those tiny forks in the road. These are those few small choices each day that, while they seem insignificant in isolation, truly shape your trajectory for the next few hours or even the whole day.
Like that moment you walk past the vending machine at 3 p.m.
Exactly. Or the moment you decide whether to order takeout versus starting to cook dinner.
Oh.
Or grabbing the video game controller versus opening your textbook.
These small choices accumulate.
They absolutely do. They determine the overall path of your day and ultimately your life. To really make good choices easy and bad choices hard in these moments, consider using commitment devices and automation.
Commitment devices, like locking yourself away.
Sometimes, yes. Victor Hugo, the famous French author, apparently locked away his clothes and stayed in his study with only paper and ink to force himself to finish The Hunchback of Notre Dame on deadline. He told his servant not to give him his clothes back, even if he begged.
That's extreme, but effective, I guess.
It made procrastination virtually impossible. More modern examples are things like setting up automatic savings transfers the day you get paid, or using apps that temporarily block distracting websites during work hours.
So you're making the default path the better path.
Precisely. The goal is to make bad habits difficult, ideally impossible, and good habits almost automatic or inevitable. Make easy the default.
Okay. Obvious, attractive, easy.
That brings us to our fourth and final law. Make it satisfying. This feels crucial for making habits stick long-term, linking back to the reward. Absolutely crucial. Because the cardinal rule of behavior change, as the source puts it, is quite simple. What is immediately rewarded is repeated. What is immediately punished is avoided.
Our brains are wired for immediate gratification.
They really are. And therein lies the challenge. Good habits like exercising, saving money, eating well, often have delayed rewards. You don't instantly feel healthier after one salad or richer after saving $10.
Right. The payoff is way down the line.
Meanwhile, many bad habits offer immediate gratification. That junk food tastes good right now. Checking social media gives an instant hit of novelty. The negative consequences are often delayed.
So our brains naturally favor the bad habits because the reward is instant.
Often, yes. It's a mismatch between our ancient wiring and our modern environment. So the million-dollar question becomes, how do we make those good habits, the ones with delayed payoffs, immediately satisfying?
Yeah, how do you make eating broccoli immediately satisfying?
Well, maybe not the broccoli itself, but the act of choosing it. The source shares a really powerful example from Stephen Luby, a public health worker in Karachi, Pakistan. He was trying to improve hand-washing rates to reduce disease.
A critical health behavior.
Absolutely. People knew hand-washing was important, but they just weren't doing it consistently. His team partnered with Procter & Gamble to supply Safeguard soap to households.
Okay, just providing soap.
But it wasn't just any soap.
Yeah.
Safeguard was specifically designed to lather well, smell really good, and just generally feel more pleasant to use than the basic soap available.
So it made the experience nicer.
Exactly. Hand washing became slightly pleasurable, immediately satisfying on a sensory level. This immediate positive signal, this small reward, made the habit stick. Hand washing rates soared, and children's health dramatically improved.
Wow. So the trick is to add a little bit of immediate pleasure or satisfaction, even a small sensory reward to those good habits.
That's a key strategy. Find a way to feel good right after you perform the habit. Maybe it's listening to music while you exercise, or enjoying a really nice cup of tea after meditating.
You can also create your own self-made rewards, right? Like tracking progress.
Yes, or linking the habit to something that feels good immediately. For example, if you're trying to save money, don't just not buy something. Set up a separate savings account, specifically labeled Dream Vacation Fund or New Bike Fund.
Okay.
Every time you successfully skip an unnecessary purchase, immediately transfer that exact amount of money into your special fund. Seeing that fund grow, even by a small amount, provides an immediate hit of satisfaction.
You get the reward right away, visually.
Right. It feels much better than just feeling deprived.
Yeah.
The key, though, is that this short-term reward should ideally reinforce your desired identity, rather than conflict with it. Rewarding yourself for working out with a giant ice cream sundae might send mixed signals.
Good point. Okay, so those are the 4 laws. Now, once you've begun building these habits using these laws, how do you ensure you maintain them? How do you refine them over time?
Great question. Because starting is one thing, sticking with it is another. One simple but profoundly effective strategy is habit tracking.
Just keeping a record.
Yeah, visually measuring whether you did a habit. It could be as simple as marking an X on a calendar each day you meditate, or using a habit tracking app.
Why is that so effective?
It works on multiple levels. First, it creates a clear visual cue that reminds you to act. Second, it's inherently motivating because you actually see your progress building up. You don't want to break the chain. And third, it feels incredibly satisfying to record another successful instance. It provides tangible proof that you are consistently casting those votes for the person you want to become.
Seeing the streak grow feels good, but what happens when you inevitably miss a day? Because let's be honest, life happens. We all slip up.
Absolutely. Perfection isn't the goal. That's where the wonderfully forgiving never miss twice rule comes in.
Never miss twice. I like the sound of that.
The rule is simple. If you miss one day, try your absolute best to get back on track as quickly as possible. Missing once is an accident. Missing twice is the beginning of a new, unwanted habit.
So the real problem isn't slipping up once.
No. The real problem is falling into the trap of thinking, oh, I blew it, might as well give up. Or believing that if you can't do something perfectly, then you shouldn't bother doing it at all.
The all or nothing thinking.
Exactly. Showing up, even for just a few minutes, even after a missed day, powerfully reaffirms your identity and keeps you moving forward. Don't let one slip up derail you completely.
Get back on the horse immediately.
Okay. How do you stay motivated long term, though? Especially with the initial excitement fades and things maybe get a bit, well, boring.
Boredom, the silent killer of habits. The source introduces the Goldilocks rule for this.
Like the porridge. Not too hot, not too cold.
Precisely. Humans experience peak motivation when they're working on tasks that are right on the edge of their current abilities. Not too hard, not too easy, just right. The sweet spot of challenge.
Exactly. If a task is too easy, you get bored. If it's too hard, you get discouraged. You need tasks that stretch you just enough to stay engaged. Think of Steve Martin's comedy career early on. He didn't do the exact same routine every night. Each year, he subtly expanded it, adding new, slightly more challenging material.
Yeah.
But always keeping some guaranteed laughs.
So he was constantly operating in that Goldilocks zone.
Right, that delicate balance of facing a challenge you feel capable of overcoming kept him engaged and motivated to keep refining his craft.
And this leads to a really crucial insight, doesn't it? The greatest threat to success is not failure, but boredom.
That's a really profound point in the book. It's relatively easy to work hard and be consistent when you feel motivated and excited. But the true mark of a professional, or someone who achieves lasting change in any field, is their ability to stick to the schedule, to put in the reps, even when they don't feel like it.
When the work feels mundane.
Yes. You have to learn to, as the book says, fall in love with the boredom of consistent practice. That dedication, showing up even on the unexciting days, is often what separates the best from the rest.
Fall in love with boredom. That's a challenge.
It is. Finally, as you grow and change through building these habits, it's also vital to continually reevaluate and refine your identity. Make it flexible.
What do you mean by flexible?
Well, instead of rigidly defining yourself as, say, I'm an athlete, which could be devastating if you get injured, perhaps think, I'm the type of person who is mentally tough and loves a physical challenge.
So the identity is broader, more adaptable.
Exactly. This subtle shift allows you to adapt to life's inevitable changes and challenges, injuries, career shifts, family changes, without feeling like you've lost your core self or failed completely. Your identity can evolve with you.
And just remembering that emotion often drives action more than logic.
That's a key underlying point, too. We often act based on craving and feeling, not just rational thought. Understanding that emotional driver helps us design habits that tap into positive feelings, making them more likely to stick. If a topic makes someone feel emotional, they're often less interested in just the raw data,
Wow. Okay. We've really covered a huge amount today. So thinking about the listener, what does this all boil down to? Let's quickly recap the biggest takeaways. First, and maybe most importantly, remember that those small changes, these atomic habits, truly compound into massive transformative results over time. Don't underestimate the 1% improvements.
Right. Second, understand that simple but powerful habit loop. Cue, craving, response, and reward. Just knowing how it works gives you the power to start hacking your own brain and behaviors.
Third, diligently apply the 4 laws of behavior change. Remember them.
Make it obvious. Make it attractive. Make it easy. And make it satisfying. Use those as your toolkit.
Got it. And finally, keep that momentum going. Track your progress visually. Embrace that wonderfully forgiving never miss twice rule when life inevitably gets in the way.
Don't aim for perfection, aim for consistency.
And find that Goldilocks zone to stay challenged and consistently motivated, even when, inevitably, the work feels a little less exciting than it did at the start.
It truly is about shifting your focus. moving away from just chasing those momentary goals and instead building robust systems, daily habits that consistently support the identity you wish to embody.
Because every single small action you take is like...
It's a vote, a powerful vote for the person you are becoming.
So instead of waiting for some grand, sweeping transformation to magically begin, I guess the final thought for you listening is this. What one atomic habit, however tiny it might seem, can you start or maybe refine today? What's one small action you can take to cast a powerful vote for the person you truly want to become?
Thanks for watching this video. If you like our video, kindly click on the like and share button. For any queries or remarks, kindly comment in the box. Subscribe to us for our latest updates.